Once upon a time, in a small, sleepy town where the buses ran late and the birds always sang out of tune, there lived an old man named Walter Bloom. Walter was 83 years old, had exactly 4 teeth left, and wore the same checkered scarf every day, not because it was fashionable, but because it reminded him of his late wife, Margaret, who claimed he looked slightly less ridiculous in it. Walter lived alone. His children had moved far away, and time had quietly folded distance between them like laundry no one wanted to iron. He wasn't bitter, just used to the silence. He had a cat named Morris, who only came home when it rained, and a radio that only played classical music and Pakistani cricket commentary, depending on the position of the spoon on top of it. Today was his birthday, 83, a number he never thought he'd reach. But here he was, sitting on a park bench, holding a balloon he bought himself from a shop where the teenage clerk didn't even look up from his phone. Walter whispered to the balloon, "You and me today, buddy." The balloon didn't reply. Of course, balloons, unlike wives, don't nag when you're late. But something was off today. The bench felt colder. The world felt a little too quiet. Not a single phone call, not a single knock on the door. He had even baked a cupcake for himself. Well, more like microwaved a questionable muffin and added whipped cream on top. But still, the effort counted. That's when he noticed it. Squirrel, not just any squirrel. This one had attitude. It had a scar over its right eye, as if it had survived a turf war with raccoons. It sat a few feet away, eyes locked on Walter's egg salad sandwich, tail flicking like a villain, preparing to monologue. Walter narrowed his eyes. "Don't even think about it." The squirrel blinked. He blinked back, and in that moment, they both understood they were at war. But something changed. Instead of lunging, the squirrel inched closer and then paused. Walter, out of boredom or desperation for any form of social interaction, tore a tiny piece of his sandwich and tossed it over. The squirrel took it and ... left. "Ungrateful little bandit," Walter muttered. 5 minutes later, the squirrel returned with another squirrel. Then another, then ... 7. Within 20 minutes, Walter Bloom, the man whose own son hadn't called him in 2 years, was surrounded by a battalion of fluffy-tailed squirrels, all sitting in neat rows, patiently waiting for their rations. So he fed them. He fed them everything: his sandwich, his muffin cake, even the last biscuit Margaret had taught him to hide under the radio. And then, out of nowhere, the lead squirrel, the one with the scar, climbed onto Walter's lap. And what did it bring? A pine cone, but not just any pine. On it was decorated with leaves and a ribbon. A ribbon that looked suspiciously like it had been stolen from Mrs. Jennings' poodle 3 streets down. Walter laughed for the first time in months. "I've been replaced," he chuckled, "by squirrels with better manners than my family." And so the birthday party continued. A squirrel tried to wear the birthday hat. One attempted to blow the balloon, but ended up chewing it. And another, rather ambitiously, tried to swipe Walter's wallet, which, to be fair, only had 43 rupees. A photo of Margaret and a half-used bus ticket in it. Hours passed. The sun started to dip. Walter stood slowly, back cracking like a tree in the wind. "Well, lads," he said, "it's been the best birthday I've had in years. You've done what no one else did, showed up." The squirrels didn't understand a word, but they stayed. That night, as Walter got home, he looked at his empty phone and smiled. he didn't need a call anymore. He had something better, memory, one filled with fur, teeth marks, and stolen poodle ribbons. And the next morning, there was a pine cone on his doorstep. Every day after, like clockwork, a little squirrel gift appeared. Acorns, shiny bottle caps, once even a tiny heart-shaped button. Walter started talking to them like friends. Maybe he was losing it, or maybe, just maybe, the universe had found a way to remind him, even in the loneliest moments, something wild, ridiculous, and kind can find its way to you, even if it has claws.